When the moon is at its highest and the last raven crows, the time is here. Come, listen, laugh. This is the oasis of the night. Lita had always dreamed about traveling on the path. She had been told about it ever since she was little. Stories of her ancestors walking along. Most of them ended up dead by the end. But that wasn't going to stop her. It was a lifelong dream. Even if that life was cut short by the dream. But it sounded exciting. And without it, then she didn't know what her life would look like. It was the start of everything else. Everything that she had wanted. And so there was no really question on if she was going to go or if she was going to stay. But that night would be the start of it, the start of her journey. A man sat on the other side of her. He was tall, with his hair taller, a white wig that matched her own, and he had white makeup, making him pale as parchment, that also drew out the red on his lips, much like her own makeup. It was kind of actually weird to look at, kind of concerning.
"Oh, Lady Lita," Sir Franny said. "You are the most beautiful of gems. Oh, looking around this garden right now, I can't help but focus on you instead of all of the flowers. They must be wilting in comparison."
"Thank you, Sir Franny," Lady Lita said, trying not to pay attention to him instead of the piece of embroidery that she was working on. A dark ship amongst her white canvas.
"Oh, I have more. I can keep going about you all night."
"Oh, thanks, Sir Franny."
"Well, actually, speaking of tonight, there's this ball, and I was wondering..."
Oh yeah, that ball. She had forgotten all about the ball because, well, tonight was the start of the path, and everything dimmed in comparison. Oh yeah, Sir Franny was still talking.
"I was wondering if you would do me the honor of attending it with me."
Lita froze, her needle halfway stuck in the fabric. Attending a ball with Sir Franny, the most eligible man at court? Oh my. Oh, well, him. Lady Lita cleared her throat. "You want to go to the ball with me?"
"Oh, yes, Lita. Nothing will make me happier."
"Oh, well, I suppose, I'm not going with anyone else at the moment. Yes, I would be delighted."
"Oh, then it's settled. I will pick you up, and we shall go together."
And with that, he bowed to her, taking his leave. Oh my, the ball with Sir Franny. Suddenly, he was much more handsome. His hair gallant, and his eyes a bright, sparkling blue, like the sky or like the ocean. Oh, so stormy and yet so calm. And he just... Oh, what more was there to say about him? It was just all good. And she had heard the rumors, the stories of his gallant quests, just saving people left and right, jumping into burning buildings and whatnot, and getting into fist fights and sword fights for ladies' honor, and he had just asked her to go to the dance. She hadn't thought that he was serious before, but now she knew. Oh, well, there was nothing to it, except for to get up and get ready immediately. A couple hours later, Lita was in her room, almost done getting ready for the dance. She had put on her best red dress, the one with 7 hoop skirts. She needed the extras just in case one collapsed under the weight of her voluminous overskirt. Such were the stakes and pains of fashion. Her hair was piled high in braids and other stuff with red ribbons tangled and woven through, and with a little miniature figurine of Sir Franny waving from on top. She looked at herself in the mirror. Was it good enough for him, she wondered. Well, it was her, and that would have to suffice. Taking one last glance at the little Franny figure, she took it off of her head and put it on her nightstand table. It would probably be too similar to the other ladies. After all, everyone was going to wear them to the ball tonight, and she wanted to stand out. She wasn't like all the other girls. "I'll be back for you later, big boy," she said, throwing it a little wink before she ran out of her room. On the steps to the entrance door, then she saw her mother, impatiently waiting. Her mother wore a black gown, her arms folded and her face serious. Oof. Very serious. "Well, ta-ta, Mother. I will be back whenever Sir Franny seems fit." And her mother was like, Lita, you are aware that the seance is tonight, aren't you?" Oh, the seance. Right, the seance. How could she have forgotten? Just all that was in her head lately was Sir Franny. But, oh, yes, of course, Mama. I will be there. I will be there sharp and early. Yes. Well, better get going. Sir Franny is waiting for me. Yes. Lita, also, Lord Hugo is going to come and do it with us. He's going to be taking the path soon himself, and so he was wondering if he could do the ceremony with us. "Oh," Lita said. "You invited him?" "Yeah, I thought it was all right. After all, he is part of the cult, and so it's only in our duty to let him join us. I thought that you guys got along." "Ugh, he's such a bore, Mama." Well, sure, fine. Y'all expect him to be there." And with that, she left and walked out to the welcome carriage of Sir Franny. The place that they were having the ball was a wide open room with flowers on the left, flowers on the right, flowers practically everywhere. And sure enough, all the ladies were wearing little Sir Frannys tucked away in their hair, but none of them had the real deal strapped onto their arm. "Oh, Lady Lita," Sir Franny said from beside her. "You coming with me, it has filled me up with so much joy. I am as happy as a baby fawn." That is the sound a baby fawn makes, and are happy in the spring. Oh, Sir Franny, I have never heard a nicer thing said to me. Oh, well, I just have a gift. Well, shall we? And they did. They went into the room, everyone casting glances at them or openly staring, some girls seeming a little jealous. Well, a lot of girls seeming overly jealous. Ahem! A voice sounded from behind them. Lita looked to see Lord Hugo there. In a dark blue suit, his hair combed to the side. Lady Lita, he said, might I have a word? Oh. She wasn't sure if it was a mental groan or a normal groan, but she groaned. She cast a look at Sir Franny. Oh, but I just got here, and Sir Franny and I have much to do tonight. It will only take a moment, please, my lady, Lord Hugo said. I wouldn't dare take the privilege of a man wanting to talk to you. I bet the room is full of men just lining up, waiting to have a word with the lovely Lady Lita. And I would be called a villain if I wouldn't allow that. Oh, but Sir Franny, no one could ever call you a villain. Oh, but I would not deign for it to even touch their minds. I will go over here. I will go get us some punch, and I will be back before that 5 minutes is up. Oh, my Sir Franny, thank you. That's very kind. Thanks plenty, dearest. As soon as Sir Franny walked away, then Lita turned to Sir Hugo. Fine, take me, she said, throwing her wrists up as if to be bound. I am your prisoner. I just wanted to ask you a question about tonight, about the seance. Well, what do you want? I was just wondering when it was going to be at, like what time. Your mom didn't really actually say anything about it. Ahem, Lita said. When the moon is at its highest, when the last raven crows, when the darkness rules the night, that is when the seance will take place. Lord Hugo tilted his head, confused. So when is that exactly? Midnight, you fool! She said. What about that does not scream midnight to you? Okay. Can I get a ride with you? I'm already taking Sir Franny, Lita said. Wait, what? But before he could say anything else, she had turned on the spot and huffed away. Sir Franny wasn't too far away. He had kept relatively close. Sure enough, 2 cups of punch were in his hands. As soon as Sir Franny saw her, his whole face lit up. Ah, how handsome he was when he looked at her. He looked so happy. My dearest, he said, handing her a cup of punch. Without you, I felt like I was in the midst of darkness, like a shivering orphan without a blanket. That is the sound an orphan makes. Oh, Sir Franny, Lady Lita said. You are so articulate, and your orphan impression is spot on. You sound just like the ones outside my manor before I tell them to hit the road. So my family is having a seance tonight, and I was wondering if you'd like to come with me. Anything for you, my dear. Wait, seance? Like, talking to dead people? Yeah! Lydia jumped up, splashing a little punch on her gloved hands. It's all for my family's cult. I have to be prepared to leave home on a dangerous journey, and ghosts can help me with that. Sir Franny didn't look as excited as she felt. So, does your family do this sort of thing often? Like, if we got married and had a nice little house, would it be visited by ghosts every night? Of course, silly. Well, not every night. It only works on every full moon, but it's important to our cult. What sort of cult is this? Oh, Sir Franny, Lita said, giving a little playful nudge. I can't let you know all our secrets. You probably already know too much, and my family doesn't like that. Just come tonight. It's my first seance, and I need a big, strong man to protect me. The only other guy coming is Sir Hugo, and I don't think he's smart enough to deal with potentially ill-willed and murderous ghosts. Sir Franny said, looking perhaps a little more pale than his makeup should probably allow. I suppose what can't hurt, if only to protect a fair lady like yourself. Let's dance! With that, Sir Franny led Lita to the dance floor, everyone making room as they stepped on. With a snap, Lord Franny opened a white, delicate fan and began to prance around the room, circling her like a shark. A very handsome shark. Very handsome, well-dressed shark with stormy blue eyes. He pranced a little this way and did a little flourish. He pranced a little that way and did a little tap-toe thing. Grecian urns, he said, making his hands go up into the air before returning once again to Lita. It was strange. She had never danced like this before. She hadn't even learned this dancing in all her classes. But as much as she loved dancing, and this wasn't it, she couldn't help but feel like she had front row seat to the grand ballet. They drew a crowd around him, everyone admiring Franny's grace and poise, the way his head a little nod back, looking up at the ceiling as he pranced around her once more, fanning his fan in her face. It was actually kind of nice, as the room was kind of hot. Time passed like a blur, and before anyone knew it, Lord Hugo tapped onto Sir Franny's shoulder.
Excuse me, sir, but may I, Captain? Oh, Sir Franny said, it is not my place to keep anyone from dancing with the fairest flower in the room. As soon as the sentence was said, Sir Franny began to encircle Lord Hugo, fanning him with his fan. Lord Hugo said, I meant I want to dance with the lady. Oh, Sir Franny said, covering his mouth. Of course, but do bring her back to me, or I should have to challenge you for her hand. I'll keep that in mind, Lord Hugo said, offering his hand to Lady Lita. I certainly wouldn't want to duel you. I mean, I've only had 13 years of private sword lessons, but I'm sure you could try, and that's not easy. He pulled her away and brought her into a waltz position. It was kind of nice having to actually dance and feeling his arms around her, leading her through instead of just kind of in the middle of the ocean with Sir Franny gallivanting around her like it so seemed. But she wasn't going to admit that, not even to herself. I thought that you might actually want to dance instead of whatever that was, Lord Hugo said. You mentioned you were taking Sir Franny to the seance? Sir Hugo, don't be jealous. It doesn't look well on you. Well, actually, nothing really looks well on you. I can help you fix that. Oh, Sir Franny can help you. Oh, Sir Franny. No, it's quite all right, Lord Hugo said, grabbing her hand from where she was waving it at Sir Franny. I just wanted to know why you were talking to Sir Franny about coming to the seance. Oh, well, that's easy. We need someone to protect us. And you think that Franny can do that? Well, of course. He once saved a family from a burning building. Haven't you heard all of the stories? They're making songs about him now. But Franny isn't even part of our cult, Lord Hugo said. What does your mother think about this? But she doesn't know. Can't hurt her. Lord Hugo paused just a second before taking them back into their steps. Well, she's gonna find out. She's the one leading the seance, and I don't think she'll appreciate you bringing strangers into our highly secretive cult. Franny's not a stranger, Lady Lita said. You're the strange ones. I'm sure that Sir Franny will fit right in. He's already so excited to meet the dead. Are you sure about that? Lord Hugo said. Well, I guess, Sir Hugo said. He's already as pale as a ghost. Maybe they won't even notice. Oh, if you think he's pale now, Lita said, you should see him when he's covered in flour. You've seen him covered in flour? Lord Hugo said, raising an eyebrow. His own, and it was still attached to his face. Well, yes, no. Well, I'm not really exactly sure where I was going with this. He's as pale as a swan, or a cloud. A cloud. Oh, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. That is the sound a cloud makes on a rainy day. When they're not white, they're grey. Oh dear. Maybe I should leave all of these to Sir Franny. He's much better at speaking. Well, speaking of which, I'm going to go back to him if you don't mind. So just waltz me back over, or you can escort me, or you could just leave me alone, and Sir Franny will find me, because he will always find me. Sure, Lord Hugo said. I don't remember you being all this dramatic from all our years together, but okay. And he led her politely to Sir Franny, where he was waiting. Oh, sir, thank you for returning this lovely lady to me. I was, like a starving man on a cloudy day with nothing to eat. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. That is the sound cloud makes on a rainy day, when it is not white, it is grey, like I was without my Lita. Oh, sweet poetry.
Lita said, taking his outstretched arm and coming towards him, maybe perhaps too close for propriety. The rest of the dance was amazing. With Sir Franny there to attend to her, they laughed all night until the clock struck 11:30. "Oh, well, we must be going," Lita said, pulling on Sir Franny's hand. "Oh, yes, to the ghosts we go." "Oh, yes, to the ghosts we go," Lita said. "Oh, I'm so happy that you're joining us, Sir Franny. I didn't think that this night would get any better, but going to a seance with Sir Franny. I mean, how many people get to say that?" "None, I reckon," Sir Franny said. "Yeah, none. Just me." "All right, well, let's go." And off they went to the seance.